It's Rhema Afternoons with Tom and Di. And once again, we catch up with the team from Open Doors. And today, talking with Ewan Cameron. So, firstly, welcome to the show, Ewan.
Kia ora.
Yeah, thanks, Di and Tom. Great to be here. Great to be here again.
Now, a country that's just outside the top 10 with your world watch list, and of course you work with countries around the world where Christians face persecution for their faith. Today, wanting to look at Mali. Now, often when we think persecution, Ewan, we can think violence, but we want to talk about tax today. Is that right? What's the story here?
Yeah, that's right. We often do think of violence or prison or things like that when it comes to the persecuted church. But what's happened in Mali is that Islamic extremist groups are ordering Christians to pay a taxation, which basically guarantees them, number one, protection, and number two, it gives them permission to practice a non-Muslim faith. But the fact is that this taxation is crippling. It's probably more than half the monthly income of many families. So obviously, a lot of Christians can't afford to pay that. And that being the case, obviously, local leaders are told a refusal to pay will result in seizure and closure of churches.
Is this a new thing, Ewan, or has this been going on for some time?
Now, that's an interesting question, Di. Yeah, from 2014 to 17, ISIS used this form of taxation in Iraq and Syria against Christians, and they would do that to impoverish Christian communities. And Joe Newhouse is our Open Door spokesman in that area, and she said families who refuse or cannot afford to pay are driven from their land, places where they've grown up and lived all their lives. The long-term physical and emotional impact is devastating.
So is this just Christians, or is this just an opportunity for Christians to be targeted in this particular way, Ewan?
Yeah, it is mainly Christians, but it would probably be any other non-Muslim group as well. The Christian population of Mali is about 3%. We estimate about 450,000 Christians live in Mali, but there obviously are other forms of persecution as well.
And just quickly, just thinking too, when you were saying that extremist groups implementing this tax, is this a case of the government turning a blind eye to what's happening here, or is it with wider support?
Well, it's gained momentum through other extremist groups using this form of taxation, obviously in other countries. The problem in Mali is there's been problems there for the last decade, basically. So you've got a lot of infighting and between the military government and who seized power in, I think it's 2021, but they're struggling to contain these extremist groups.
So listening to all of this and just feeling for the Christians there in Mali, how can we pray for them? How can we pray for the people of Mali and what's happening?
Yeah, well, we definitely need a God intervention, don't we? I guess and foremost for protection for our brothers and sisters over there, and I guess just God's peace, His wisdom and guidance as they face persecution, not only from obviously crippling taxation, but also from other forms of persecution as well. It definitely needs God to step in, and as Christians, that's something that we can all do. So I just encourage everyone to pray for Mali.
All right, and of course, head along to opendoors.org.nz to stay in touch with the work right around the world in areas where Christians are facing persecution. Ewan Cameron with us, Church Relationship Manager. And Ewan, appreciate the update and time on the show again. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us on Rhema. Now, if you found value in today's content, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel with the subscribe button. This really helps us to continue to produce more quality content for you. And hey, if you'd like to stay updated and never miss any of our future videos, ring that notification bell as well. Don't forget to follow us on our other socials, which are in the description below. And until then, stay tuned.